Hi artists, for the next part of this worksheet, we're going to work on changing our values. Value is the lightness or the darkness of a color. So it says to choose one color. I'm going to use a light blue marker here. And we're going to space the dots to make lighter values and add more dots to create darker values. Make each box slightly darker than the previous one, or lighter. I think I put that backwards. Okay, so your darkest is going to go here. Now the darkest is going to fill and cover a lot of that white. So just as we do with our pencil, when we want to make darker marks, we are going to press harder. Here, we're just going to place more dots in closer proximity to each other. So we're going to cluster them. Okay, and again, remember what we practiced in the top section, making dots that look even in their size. Okay, not making dashes, not letting them sit on the paper too long. Okay, and then these dots are going to cluster in there nice and tight. Okay, so right now I want you to work on adding those dots in your box. That first box again is going to be the darkest. The darker values take the most amount of time because you just got to fill. And if my first box is that dark, then my next box, I just want to be a little bit lighter. So then I'm going to start by spacing out my dots. And just as I talk about with shading, it's always better to start it a little lighter because you can always add darkness much easier than you can add, take away the darkness, okay? Now, especially with pointillism, you can't really take away your dots. So always lean on the side of lighter because we can add more to it. And add some more dots in here so that this is just, again, one step lighter. Than the previous one, okay? And then you're going to go to the next one and make it a little bit lighter than that one. Okay, we always want to define out our areas. So I'll start around the edges and then I'll start filling in. You don't necessarily want them to go in super neat and organized rows inside of there. The randomness of them, of the placement, kind of adds a nice element to it. Okay, so that's a little bit lighter. Okay, I'm going to go even lighter. It gets much quicker as we go through. So again, I'm going to define out my space by going around my edges. Add a few random dots in the middle, space them out. Okay, until I get slightly less than that box before it. Okay, and then my last one is going to be my quickest. So that you see that each box has a progressive change in value.